A dangerous terrorist alliance in the works, apparently, in the Middle East. According to the Vice President of Iraq, representatives of ISIS and al-Qaeda are meeting to discuss an alliance of some sort. David Lee Miller is following this story from our Jerusalem bureau. David?
Jenna, Iraq's Vice President Ayad Alawi says he got word about a possible merging of these two groups from what he described as his contacts in Iraq and in the region. He did not release any further information about the possible source of where he was getting these facts or this information. He says the leader of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the head of al-Qaeda, and Ayman al-Zawahiri, the head of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, and the head of al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, are not communicating directly with one another, but rather through intermediaries.
This is the discussion started now. Now I don't know exactly when, but there are discussions and dialogue between messengers representing Baghdadi and representing Zawahiri.
Iraq's vice president says it is not clear how the two groups are going to work together. The Islamic State, which made terrorist gains in Mosul and other parts of northern Iraq, has more recently been pushed out of much of that region under pressure from an international coalition, including the United States. Despite losing ground, the group still controls areas in Mosul's old city where the narrow streets have slowed coalition forces. ISIS still maintains control of a handful of other Iraqi towns and its base in Raqqa, Syria. Iraq's prime minister last month called for more support from the international community to combat ISIS and al-Qaeda, and talk of these two groups working together could help raise military aid. And despite concern that these groups might be trying to forge an alliance, they have been competing with each other for fighters, money, and other resources. Earlier this year, in fact, al-Qaeda's leader repeated his criticism of the Islamic State's violent attacks, such as beheadings of civilians. Al-Qaeda has refused to recognize ISIS's self-declared caliphate in Iraq and Syria. And analysts say the animosity between these two groups, Jenna, may be further fueled by the fact each of them wants to be identified as the true leader of the Islamic jihadist cause internationally throughout the world. Although ISIS might now be on the run, Iraq's vice president said, and I'm going to quote him now, "I can see ISIS disappearing into thin air." Jenna?
David Lee, thank you.